Hello, my name is Sarah Symes. I am a junior at Boston University studying English education and teaching English as a second language. I grew up in Marlborough, Massachusetts and went to the public schools there at grades K through 12. I've always wanted to be a teacher. Ever since I was little, I used to line up my American Girl dolls and Barbie dolls on the side of my bed and read them book after book after book. I thought that being a teacher would be a great career because teachers got to help people. And helping people was something that was very important to me because it was something that was very important to my parents. My parents taught me from a very young age that living is giving and that the best way to live well is through giving of yourself, through your time, your talents, and your treasures so that others might live well. So from there, teaching has always been a passion and something that I've held very dear. And even after I stopped reading to my dolls, I continued reading to myself and going to the public library where the librarians knew me by name and taking out really just like those large canvas bags full of books and reading all of them and then coming back and asking for more book recommendations. One teacher that really helped me to feed that voracious appetite for books of all types was Mr. Fahey. So I had Mr. Fahey during a very important time in my life in 7th grade. 7th grade was really hard for me because I definitely experienced a lot of bullying. A lot of my friends who I thought were going to be my friends for life decided that I wasn't cool anymore and that they wanted to be friends with other people, and there was just a lot of friend drama, and school was hard because I would go in and you wouldn't know who you were going to sit with at lunch or if this person was going to be nice to you. And even though I know that now that sounds very trivial, back then it was a really big deal. And without Mr. Fahey's class in my 7th grade, during 7th grade, I really feel like school would have been a very different experience for me. Mr. Fahey was able to see my potential as a writer and as a reader, and he was able to really pinpoint the areas where I needed to improve and really just bring me to a place where I never thought I could go as a writer. So I'm very thankful to him for that and for also providing that safe space where I could just be myself and wholeheartedly study something that I was passionate about. So at the end of 7th grade, I made a decision. I wrote it down in my journal, which I still have today, and I was like, I am going to teach middle school. I'm going to be like Mr. Fahey and be passionate about reading and writing and have a classroom where students can come and just be whoever they are. And that passion is still something that is such a huge part of my studies here at BU and just my life in general. So after that, I knew that I wanted to teach, so I took up every experience that I could working with kids. I was a camp counselor. I taught dance at my local dance studio. I helped teach Sunday school at my church. But it wasn't until the summer in between my sophomore year of high school and my junior year, where I went on a mission trip to Springfield, Mass, that I decided that I really wanted to be an urban educator. During that trip, we didn't just do community service, but we really got to engage with the community through presentations and through hearing stories of people who had lived in the community. So one of the presenters was from the Department of Education, and he put on this really fascinating and heartbreaking presentation about the Springfield education system and just the gaps that existed between Springfield's education system and the surrounding communities. And from that moment, it was a point that really changed my worldview because it made me realize that not every student had the opportunities that I had growing up, and that these students' zip codes were determining their quality of education. And I decided that that was not fair, and that if I had the power to, I wanted to be a change agent and be someone who would be willing to go into this situation and these places and really just change things. And so my junior and senior year, I decided I wanted to be an urban middle school educator. And when I was looking for schools, I wanted to look for schools that were in urban environments so that I would be prepared to do that work. So that brought me to Boston University, where I am today. Getting to BU is a different story, but it was definitely something that I really knew that I wanted. So my junior and senior year, I worked really hard. I got more help from my teachers than I've ever gotten before, and I was able to be admitted to Boston University my senior year. So I'm currently a junior at Boston University. I will be doing my student teaching practicums next year, one for English and one for ESL. I'm incredibly excited about this journey that I'm on. While I understand I still have a long way to go before I'm Mr. Fahey, I know that with the right training and with the right experiences, I will be able to be a change agent in a child's life, and I will be able to provide all students with the opportunity to succeed and to learn how to not only read the stories of others, but be empowered to tell their own stories one day. Thank you.